Hey, it's Andrew, and in this video, we're going to talk about everything you need to get started with Facebook ads in 2021. I'm going to walk you through everything from start to finish to get you up and running with your first Facebook ads, even if you're a complete beginner. So we're literally going to cover everything in this one video. If you've never run Facebook ads before, if you're a complete beginner, then this is exactly what you need. Okay, so let's get started. The very first really important thing you need to do is tap that like button for me, okay? It really does help the YouTube algorithm, helps me grow this channel, get it in front of more people and all that good stuff. And it only takes you half a second to do. So please, if you're enjoying this, please tap that like button. And if you want to hear more from me, you can hit subscribe and hit that little bell as well to get notified when I release new videos. All right, so the first thing we want to do, go over to business.facebook.com and we're going to set up something called a Facebook Business Manager account. Basically, all it is a container. It's a container for your business that holds all of your assets that are related to Facebook advertising. So inside the Business Manager container, you're going to have your Facebook ad accounts, you're going to have your Facebook pages, your Instagram accounts, your pixels, and different users that have access to those different assets. So it basically just allows you to put all of those assets in one container and then give access to each of those as needed and to allocate them and assign them to different things so that you can control it all from one central place, okay? So that's all the Business Manager really is, and this is how you set it up. Okay, so over in your browser, go to business.facebook.com. Now from here, you want to click Create Account. Now, just log into your Facebook account at this point. So type your Facebook details in, click Login. Right, and then once you've logged into your Facebook account, you can click Create Account up here in the top right. All you need to do then is put your business and account name. So simply enter your business name here. So you do just want to match the actual name of your business here, or the public name of your business here. So make sure that matches. Enter your name and your business email. Go through and click Submit, and you'll set up your Business Manager account. Now, I'm not going to do this now because I've already got a Business Manager account set up. But if you haven't, click Submit, get that set up, and then we'll move on to the next step. Now, once you've created your Business Manager account, you should see something like this, which is the basic Business Manager interface. If you've already been upgraded to Business Suite, which at the time of recording this, Facebook is moving over to, so they're moving from Business Manager to Business Suite, because in Facebook's wisdom, it's great to be constantly changing things like this for their users. Don't ask me why. But if you have the Business Suite, you'll see a screen like this and you want to click on Business Tools and then you can see these settings there. Otherwise, if you see a similar screen to mine, you can see the settings icon down in the bottom left. You can also see we've got business settings right here. And you can also see in the Business Tools menu at the top, we've got business settings as well. So take your pick, click one of those and go to the Business Settings menu. And this is where we're going to actually set up our Business Manager account. That's quick and easy. First thing we want to do is go down to Business Info and populate all of your business information here. Again, populate as much as possible in this business details section. Don't worry about the business verification status at the moment. You'll notice your ad account creation limit here is 1. That's because when you create a new business, you can only have 1 ad account to start with. Once you build trust with the platform, once you start spending money, paying your bills on time, and all of that stuff, they will allow you to create more than 1 ad account, but at the moment, 1 is fine. Turn on 2-factor authentication. I highly recommend that. So turn it on for everybody. And I would go through and click everyone. Go down, enter your information here as well. Verify your email address, do all that good stuff, and turn on 2-factor authentication for your own Facebook account. Now, the reason this is important is because it's becoming more and more common for people to have their ad accounts hacked, money gets spent, and then it's a big hassle trying to undo that, get refunds, all that kind of thing. You don't want it to happen to you. So turning on 2-factor authentication for your personal Facebook ad account and then making it mandatory inside the Business Manager is a really important step to take. Okay, once you do that, we're going to go up here and click on Security Center. Again, just make sure 2-factor authentication has been turned on for everybody there. Then what we're going to do is go up here to Pages. We're going to bring your Facebook page, if you've already got one, into Business Manager. If you haven't got one, it's time to create one. So you want to click Add, go to Add a Page. Now, this is if you already have a business page. Okay, if you've already got a Facebook business page, you want to add it to the Business Manager, meaning you own the page. If you're managing a page for somebody else, you need to click Request Access to a Page. If it's your own page that you own and it belongs to your business, click Add a Page, type in the name and click Add to add that page to your business. Next up, you want to go to Add Accounts, and we're going to add your ad account to this business. So click Add, and then for this one, we're going to actually create a new ad account. So click on that. Give your ad account a name. Now this isn't important. You can call this whatever you would like to call it. So I'm going to call it Andrew's Example Account. Set the time zone to whatever time zone you would like your ad account to be using. So I recommend using your own local time zone, and then the currency you want to use. So select the currency that is relevant to you. For me, it's Australian dollar. This is the currency you will be billed in. So just be mindful of that. You can choose whatever currency you want, but you will be locked into that, and it's going to bill you in that currency for the rest of time. Okay, so click Next. You choose what your account is going to be used for. If you're going to use it for your own business, choose My Business. If you're going to use it for somebody else's, choose another business or a client. Click Create. Now you've got your brand new ad account, which we're going to use for our ads later on, which is awesome. And now you want to give access. So over here, you choose yourself. You can choose everything here, turn everything on, okay? And click Assign. Now, it's going to ask you at this point to add some payment information so that you can pay for your ads. Click Add Payment Info at this point. And then you want to choose your location and currency. It's already done for us. Business and tax info. Go ahead and add your tax info there just to make sure, depending on where you are, Facebook doesn't withhold tax and do weird things like that. And then add your payment method. You can see here we've got debit or credit card and PayPal. I think it depends where you are. There are other payment methods available. And depending how much trust you've built up with the platform and things like that. So I know that once you spend a lot, you can actually get a line of credit with Facebook, meaning you can spend money all month. They'll invoice you at the end of the month and you can pay that invoice. But when you're first getting started, it's usually just these two options. I recommend using a debit or credit card here. You get points as well. So try to pick a credit card that has a good reward scheme so that whenever you spend money, you get frequent flyer points and you can use those. Just a quick tip there. And if you have a credit with Facebook to claim, you can enter that there and claim it, but most people won't have that. So simply click Next and set up your payment method. Follow the steps to do that. Okay. Now you've got your ad account with a payment method associated. What we want to do now is go down to Instagram accounts, and we're going to add our Instagram account. So click Add, and then we click Connect your Instagram account. It's going to ask you to log in to your Instagram account. So just log in, and it's going to bring your Instagram account into that business manager for you, okay? All right, now we're nearly there, and we normally would be there, but because of Facebook's new iOS 14 changes, there is one more thing that's really important that we need to do before we move on to the next step, and that is verifying our domain. So you want to go down here to Brand Safety, click Domains. I need to add my domain, meaning any website domain that you own where you're going to be running ads to. And you need to verify that you own it. Now, again, if you don't do this, once the iOS 14 privacy changes roll out, and if that means nothing to you, don't stress. Basically, it's just some changes that are coming through from Apple that have made Facebook have to make changes on their side of the platform for privacy reasons. And so you need to verify that you own the domains that you're running ads to now. So you want to click Add on Manage Your Domains and enter your domain name. So I'd click Andrew Hubbard. Not click it, I would type it in and click Add Domain. And then what we want to do here is verify the domain. Now, I find the easiest way to do this is to just copy this part here, this tag on the meta tag verification side. Go over to your website, add it to the head section of your website, so in between the head tags on your website. And then come back here after you publish that and click verify. If you need more detail on that, I've actually got a video. I'll put a link at the top somewhere now. So you can click that video and go and watch it in detail and then come back here after you verify your domain. It's really quick and easy. It takes 5 to 10 minutes to do. But make sure you come back here, verify that domain before you move forward. Because if you don't do this, you're not going to be able to run what we call conversion ads, which are the most common type of ads on your account. So it's really important to do. And then last of all, something that's not required, but I highly recommend doing it, is to verify your business manager account. So if you go back down here to Security Center, you can see we've got business verification. And I can click continue because I started doing this before. You can go through here and go through this process to verify your business with Facebook. So basically you send in some documents like your certificate of formation of your business, maybe a phone bill or something to verify your address, and a couple of other things. And basically it verifies that you're a legit business with Facebook, builds extra trust with them, and it is something that is quite helpful in terms of getting more ad accounts sooner, as well as helping to avoid account bans, shutdowns, and things like that. So although it's not really critical, it is something I highly recommend doing. If you don't want to do it now, you can skip this, get some ads up and running, and maybe come back to it. But I do recommend you verify your business very early on in the process, if not right away. Okay, now once you've got the Facebook Business Manager set up, it's time to move on to the next step, and that is setting up the Facebook Pixel. Now, if you're not familiar what the Facebook Pixel is, it's just a little piece of code that you add to your website, and it tells Facebook when people complete a conversion event, like signing up for a form or a webinar or purchasing a product from you. So it's really important because what it does is it sends that information back to Facebook, so it knows when somebody completes an important action on your website, and Facebook uses that, one, in your Facebook ad reports so that you can see the results you're getting from your ads. Obviously, that's really important. And two, it actually uses it to optimize your ads automatically for you and improve the performance. So it can look at that data, see who's converting into a lead, see who's buying from you, and then optimize your ads to show them to more people just like those ones. So it's kind of an extra optimization step, and it's absolutely crucial to the Facebook ads process. Now, here's how you install the Facebook Pixel. Go back over to the Business Manager, and what we're going to do is click on the menu, Business Tools menu, and click on Ads Manager. Okay, so click Ads Manager. That's going to bring you into your brand new ad account that you set up. And what we need to do from here is click on the menu on the left again, the Business Tools menu, and click on Events Manager. You might see it here, or you might have to scroll down the list and find it, but it's going to be in that list somewhere. Now, once we're on the Events Manager page, we actually have to create our Facebook Pixel. So you can go here and click on Connect to Data Source, choose Web, Get Started. We're going to choose the Facebook Pixel here. Click Connect. Now we want to give this pixel a name, so I'm going to call mine Andrew's Example Pixel. And then I'm going to enter my website. Now my website is andrewhubbard.co, but I'm putting staging.andrewhubbard.co because I use that for all of these examples that I show you guys. So yours won't have the staging in front. So just pop in your website URL here, click Continue. Now you can see I've got a pixel here on the left called Andrew's Example Pixel, and I need to make a choice here. I can choose to manually add it to my website, or I can use a partner integration. I'm going to choose Use Partner Integration because what that does is it gives us simple instructions based on whatever platform we use and shows us how to install the pixel on that platform. So click Use a Partner. Now, from here, you just choose whatever platform you're using for your website. So for me, it's WordPress, but it could be Webflow for you, or Squarespace is in this list as well, Shopify. So simply choose your platform, follow the instructions, and install the pixel. It's a little different for every platform, but these instructions are great. It's going to walk you through step by step. So go through that process and do it. I'm going to choose WordPress, and I'm going to follow the steps. So I'm going to click Next here. It's telling me to install a WordPress plugin, do that, and then go through and enter it here. So I'm going to go over to my website now. Before I do anything though, install a Chrome extension called the Facebook Pixel Helper. You can see I've got it here in Chrome. If you don't know how to do that, simply right click here, go Manage Extensions, go up here to the menu on the left, click Open Chrome Web Store, and search for Facebook Pixel Helper. And you can see here it's Facebook Pixel Helper offered by Facebook. Go ahead and install that, activate the plugin, and then you'll see this little icon here. If not, you'll see it in your main menu here. You might have to click on this little jigsaw piece and you'll find it in this list, okay? So I've got the Pixel Helper installed. Now, if I go to my website and click refresh, you'll notice the Pixel Helper is grayed out, and if I click on it, it says no pixels found. I'm going to install the pixel now, and then the Pixel Helper is going to tell me that the pixel is installed. So I'm simply going to go in here, and following the instructions that Facebook gave me, I'm going to install the pixel plugin. And And just like that, with the magic of some video editing, I've gone and installed the plugin, set up my Facebook pixel on my WordPress website. Now I'm just going to go back to the site itself and I'm going to check that it's working. So there are two ways to do this. Go back to the site. And now if you look at the Facebook Pixel Helper plugin, you'll see that it is actually blue with a little green icon and it says my pixel is installed. So one pixel found, and then you can see it's the right pixel. Page view is ticked, which means the pixel is installed and it's good to go. If I go back to the events manager now in Facebook, I can actually enter the URL, click send test traffic, and it's going to test it for me as well. And now you can see it says it is active, which means the pixel is working perfectly well. Click next. Now we want to set up events. Now events, basically anything that is important to us that the user might do after they visit our website. The classic events that mostly pop up that we want to track are lead, meaning tracking when somebody becomes a lead, and purchase, when somebody purchases a product. Now there are other things like add to cart, initiate checkout, and it depends on your business as to whether or not you use these events. So if I have a business where I simply am collecting leads, meaning email addresses, and then those people are buying from me down the track, I might just want to use lead, initiate checkout, and purchase, but it really depends on your business. The main ones I recommend you absolutely get started with though are the lead and the purchase event, but I do recommend either now or down the track, you set up as many as you possibly can. So you want to track when people initiate the checkout, when they add an item to their cart, when they search for something on your website and all those different events. But for now, we're just going to do the lead and the purchase. Here's how we do it. You want to enter the website URL that people see after completing a particular event. So I'm going to choose my first event, which is the lead event. So I'm going to choose the URL that people visit after they enter their name and email on my website and become a lead. Now in my case, the URL is staging.andrewhubbard.co/thank-you. Okay, so I'm going to enter that in here. Now I'm going to click open website. Okay, now you can see it's opened up that page for me and it's got this little Facebook event setup tool on the left. I'm just going to close that and close that. Okay, so what I want to do now is I'm going to enter the event that I want to track when people hit this page. So basically we're telling Facebook when somebody hits this page, this is what is happening and this is what I want to track. So I'm going to say track a URL. And so I select here lead because when people hit this page, they've just become a lead. And I'm going to say when the URL contains, and I just like to take off the HTTP and just leave it like that. Now, I'm not going to include a value because people aren't purchasing from me at this page. This is simply a lead event. So there's no value associated with that. I'm going to click confirm. So now what we've done is we've said to Facebook, when somebody hits this page, then they are officially a lead. And we want to track that with our Facebook ads. So I'm going to click finish setup. Click finish. I'm going to skip the little feedback thing. So now we're going to click next. And then we're going to test it in Events Manager. So click that one. And now you can see here, down here in the Pixel Conversion API, I've got events, lead, and it says it is active. Okay, but it says 0 total events. So to test this out, okay, so I'm going to open that in a new browser window now and just go to that page. I'm going back to my Facebook Pixel Helper tool. And if I click on that, you can see I've got the lead event here. So it says page view, that's great. And down here it says lead. So it's saying that the lead event is being triggered on this particular page, which means that our conversion event is working. I'm just going to quickly show you now how to set up one on the thank you page for after people make a purchase. Close that window. I'm going to go back to my events manager here. And then I'm actually going to go to add events. And then I'm going to go from the pixel, open event setup tool. Now I'm going to go to the page that people see after purchasing my product. So in this case, it's this address. I'm going to click open website. So I'm going to click track a URL here. I'm going to select an event and choose purchase. And I'm going to say URL contains and then take off the HTTP again. Now I'm going to choose don't include a value here. With your purchases, you ideally do want to track the value. That has a lot of value if you do that, because you can see how much revenue you're bringing in from your ads inside the ad manager. To do it this way, what you need to do is, if you have a checkout that shows the total order value on the thank you page, which a lot of e-commerce platforms do, you can actually choose value on page, and you can highlight the order value as it appears on the page, and that will dynamically pull in each different order value from that point onwards when somebody buys from you. So let's say you have a store with 3 different products, each at different price points. Well, depending on the combination that people choose and what they buy, if that final price appears on the thank you page, you can simply highlight that here by, let's say, clicking, and it's going to pass that dynamic value, whatever that value is, each time somebody purchases back to Facebook, okay? But if you don't have that, like I don't on this page, you need to set up the initiate checkout event on the checkout page and pass a value then, and then you'll be able to choose use value from initiate checkout. Because in this example, I haven't set up the initiate checkout event, then it's not going to allow me to do that. So I'm just going to choose don't include a value and click confirm. Now I'm going to click finish setup, click finish. Okay, now we've set up our Facebook pixel, we can get into the really good stuff here and start setting up our first ad. So what you want to do now is go back to the business tools menu and back to the ad manager. This is where we're going to set up our first campaign. Now, a campaign consists of a few different levels, and I'm going to walk you through what those are now. At the very top, you have the campaign itself, and the campaign is essentially where you tell Facebook what it is you want to achieve with your ads, meaning what your objective is. So whether it's leads or whether you want to get traffic, and we'll talk about each of those different objectives soon, but that's the campaign level. Below that, you have the ad set. Now, an ad set is where you decide on who you want to target, the demographics, you choose your budget, you choose your start date and end date for your ad campaign, and a few other little things like where you place your ads, meaning do you want to show them in the Facebook newsfeed, in the Instagram feed, on stories, as well as things like bidding, which we're not going to get into in this video because that's a more advanced strategy. And you can actually have multiple ad sets inside of a campaign. So think about it like this. You might have a campaign where you want to bring in leads for your business. Within that campaign, you might have multiple ad sets, and each ad set targets a different audience. So you can test different audiences and see which one works best for you. Now, inside each ad set, you have your ads, and the ad is what people see on Facebook. So the ad is the image or the video or the text combination that people see in their newsfeed or on Instagram or wherever they see the ad. So that's the ad, and you can have multiple ads within each ad set. So you might have a campaign with one ad set targeting a particular audience, and then you might have 3 or 4 different ads that particular audience will see sitting within that ad set. Same again, you might have another ad set with a different audience and then specific ads for that audience in the next ad set, okay? So you have one campaign, multiple ad sets, and then multiple ads within each ad set. Now, let's go ahead and create our first one. So back in the ad manager, you want to click on create, and then we're going to choose our objective. Now, let's talk about the different objectives here. So you really want to choose the objective that is most aligned with the end goal of your campaign. So what you actually are aiming for as the end goal when you're running these ads. Meaning, if you want to get leads, then you need to choose the right campaign to get leads. So yes, people are going to need to click on your ads. You're going to need to send them to a website most likely before they fill in a form and become a lead. But you don't just want the traffic. So traffic is not the best objective in this case. The actual objective you want is lead generation or conversions in most cases. So let's just walk through some of these objectives and explain them. Traffic, for example, is going to get you traffic to your website. So if you're running a blog post, then traffic is great because it's telling Facebook, hey, I want to get people who are likely to click on my ad and visit my website. But if you want to get those leads or conversions on the website, meaning you want somebody to hit your website and then fill in a form, traffic is not the best objective to choose because it's not the end goal. The end goal is the lead, not just the traffic. So in that case, you would want to choose conversions because you want somebody to click on your ad and then convert into a lead. So traffic is simply where you want traffic to the site and nothing more. You don't want them to buy from you. You don't want them to become a lead. You just want them to visit the site. If you did choose traffic and you sent them to a product page to purchase something or to a form like a webinar registration sign up, what you would get from Facebook is a lot of traffic, but very few signups or purchases, because Facebook is sending you people who are likely to click, but not necessarily likely to convert into a lead or a customer. If you chose the conversion objective in that case, which would be the best choice, you would get conversions because Facebook is sending you people who are likely to convert into a lead or a customer. So if you're sending to a blog post just because you want them to read the post, traffic is great. If you're sending to get them to sign up, let's say to a call or to get them to sign up for a webinar, conversions is your best bet. If you're sending them to purchase from you, then conversions again is likely the best bet. The other one I'll quickly go over is lead generation. Lead generation is a way to generate leads without sending them off the Facebook platform. So if you just want to get their contact information, name, email, phone number, and you're going to follow up with them later, then lead generation can be a great choice because it allows you to show them an ad and have them click that ad and enter their information right there on Facebook without ever having to leave and go to an external website. So you can get that information and contact those people. A good example of this would be, let's say, solar. If you're installing solar and you want to get leads for solar, you could run an ad, collect people's information so you can contact them about installing solar on their house using a lead generation ad. But most of the time, in 80% of cases, we're using the conversion objective, and so that's what I'm going to show you in this example. Choose conversions and click continue. Now we're going to give our campaign a name. So I'm going to call this webinar registrations because I'm going to show you how we would send people to a webinar to sign up for that particular event. Now you don't need to change anything else at the campaign level. So if you look over here, we've got webinar registrations. That's the campaign level. Below that, we've got new ad set. So that's the ad set level. And below that, we've got a new ad, which is the actual ad. So I'm going to click now to go down to the ad set level by clicking on new ad set. I'm going to type in here the ad set name. Next, we want to choose our conversion event location, which is going to be website in this case, because we're going to be sending people to a website. Then we're going to choose our conversion event. Now, you need to choose the conversion event that you're aiming for. So for me, I'm going to choose the lead event because I'm going to send people to a form that they're going to fill in, and then on the thank you page, we're going to trigger the lead event. So you need to choose the event here that gets triggered after people complete the action that you want them to. So for our example here that we did earlier, we set up the lead event on our thank you page. So I'm going to send them to the form that they'll fill in, and then they'll hit that thank you page where the lead event gets triggered. If you're in e-commerce, and let's say you're sending them to a product page, then you're probably going to want to choose purchase because you want them to go to that product page, buy your thing, and then they'll hit the thank you page where your purchase event is triggered. So again, this is quite important. You need to get this right. So make sure you choose the right event based on what you're trying to achieve. So next up, we set our budget. I like to set a budget of roughly 8 to 10 times my expected cost per acquisition of whatever I'm trying to do. So for example, if I want to acquire leads at $5 a piece, and I think if I can get leads for $5 each, I'll be really happy, then what I would do is I would do $5 times 8, which is $40, and set that as my daily budget. Now the reason for this is because of the way Facebook works. They really want you to get 50 conversions per week on an ad set, meaning in this case 50 leads per week for this ad set, in order for Facebook to be able to optimize properly. So that's why we choose 8 times whatever our lead cost is, because 7 eighths, meaning 7 days at 8 leads per day, is 56. So we're crossing that minimum of 50 conversions per week. So 7 sevens, for example, if we're doing 7 times our desired lead cost of getting 7 leads a day, we'd be at 49. So we'd be just under. So that's why I like to say, whatever we think it's going to cost us per lead, times that by 8 and set that as the daily budget is how I do it at the moment. So let's say we have a daily budget of $40. Then we're going to go down here and choose my audience. So this is where we get into our targeting. Now what we want to do here for targeting, select all of the locations that you want to target, your age range, any genders. So set all of these demographics as you want to have them set. And then we're going to scroll down and set up actually who we put these ads in front of. So if we click edit, now you can see it's come down and shown you this drop down box, and we can start to type in different interests and different behaviors for our audience. So in this case, I'm using an example of new mums, and I'm going to show you an example where we're promoting a webinar that teaches new mums how to get their babies to sleep better. So I want to get in front of new mothers. And so in here, I'm going to type in parent, because we can actually target parents. So you can see if I get in here, parents with 0 to 12 month old children. So new parents, 0 to 12 months. I can actually specify that. And I said mothers, so I'm going to choose women up here. Detailed targeting expansion, I'm going to turn that off. Now, Facebook actually knows which of its users are new mothers. Don't ask me how they know. There's a lot of different ways. It can be because they've actually put in a post, that said, hey, here's the arrival of our new baby, things like that. But they know who a new mother is, so we can make sure we get in front of them. Now, I'm actually going to expand my locations here. I'll add in the United States. We can specify any other details that we want to here, but for this example, that's all I need to do. I recommend you leave it on all placements here, and that is it. Now, if we scroll back up, one thing we didn't talk about is your schedule. I recommend that here you set it to midnight on the next day. So the reason for that is, so I'm saying 12 a.m. I like to start my campaigns and my ad sets at midnight so that the algorithm gets a full day to allocate your budget on that first day. If you just leave it to start right away, what happens is you'll publish this, it'll go into a review process, and it might take a few hours for Facebook to review and approve your ads, and then they'll start running. But if you set a $40 a day budget, and by the time they get approved, there are only, let's say, 6 hours left in the day, Facebook will rush and it will dump that $40 all in the next 6 hours before the day ends. And that gives you weird results sometimes. So what I find best is set it to start at 12 a.m. the following day, so the algorithm has a full 24 hours to spend that first budget. It's not going to rush out and dump your budget, and it's going to spend it evenly all day, and you'll start to see more even, reliable results. So simply do that, set up your audience and all your targeting, and then we're going to click next. Now we get to set up your ad. So we're going to go here, give the ad a name, select your Facebook page and your Instagram account here, and then we're going to go down here to ad setup. Now, I'm going to show you an image ad first, so we're going to leave it on single image or video. I'm going to click add media and add an image, and I'm going to upload an image by clicking here. So I've uploaded my image, click next and click done. Now, this is a stock image that I found. So what I'm going to do here is click edit, and I'm going to say edit media, and I want to edit it to be square. So I just choose the square option. The reason I like to edit images to be square is because it looks better on Facebook and on Instagram. It takes up more of the news feed. It looks native on Instagram, which is even better. And we can run it that way. Now we want to go down, and we're going to enter our primary text here. So this is the text that appears at the top of the ad, and it's the main text in the ad. It's the longest piece of text. So here's a good formula that I like to use to write my ad text. Now I like to open with a hook, something that's going to hook the reader in. And the best way to find a hook is to think about a problem that your audience has, and then give them a single sentence or a statement that tells them how you're going to help them fix it. So I'm going to say here, how to get your baby to sleep quicker and stay asleep for longer in 3 simple steps that anyone can follow. And then we're going to put in brackets. Even tired new parents. Now what I'm doing there is I'm addressing a pain point. So a pain point or a common objection that the parents have is that they're exhausted, okay? If you're a parent, you know what it's like. You don't really want to take on big challenges and new things when you're already exhausted. So we're just addressing that here because that's an objection they're going to have. They're going to think, I'm not going to click this because this is going to be some big, complicated thing that's going to take a ton of time. But if we address it here, they're much more likely to click. Okay, so that's our hook. And then we want to go into the rest of our copy. Now here's where we just start to expand on things a little bit and build that interest and anticipation. So I'd write something like this. Okay, so you can see the primary text is all here now, and it says how to get your baby to sleep quicker and stay asleep for longer in 3 simple steps that anyone can follow, even tired new parents. So that's my hook, and I've addressed one common objection there in brackets. Next up, I've said as a pediatric occupational therapist, I get asked all the time about improving sleep for babies and young children. What I'm doing there in step 2 is we're establishing a little bit of credibility, introducing who we are, telling a bit about ourselves, and why people should listen to us. So that's the sort of second piece of this framework. The third piece is we're going into talking about some more pain points. So from difficulties getting babies to sleep, to catnapping, sleepless nights, and unpredictable sleep patterns, it's one of the biggest challenges we face as parents. The good news is it's totally possible to improve your child's sleep and your own. So we've transitioned there from touching on the pain points that people experience into, hey, I've got a solution for you. And next up, we're saying I've put together a short online training where I'll walk you through 3 simple steps to improve your child's sleep today. Now, what I'm doing there is I'm just explaining what the solution is. So it's a training. This is what you're going to get. And I put today in there to imply that it's something that they're not going to have to wait weeks to do. They can start doing this today after they watch the training. Then we're saying, best of all, your little one will get the quality sleep they need, and you might even be able to sneak a little more in as well. We're touching on what's important to parents here. So I'm just adding a little note at the end there saying, hey, this is going to help your child, which we know is important to this target audience. And then at the end, we're saying, click here to grab your free spot today and giving a URL. I just made that URL up. I don't own it. It's not mine. I've got no idea what it is. I just put it in there, okay, just so you know. But that call to action is really important. You have to tell them what to do next, okay? So I'm saying click here to do that. Now, this isn't totally random. My wife's an occupational therapist, so I'm not just kind of randomly making this up, and I'm not an occupational therapist, but just letting you know where the example comes from there, in case you're wondering. Now down here, we want to put the website URL as well, so I'm going to copy that and paste that down here. Next up, we've got our headline. So you can see if we look at our ad preview on the right, we've got our primary text is up the top above the image, and our headline is going to go below the image. Now, the way you want to write a headline is we want to really catch attention and draw the user in. So the headline I'm going to use here is, get your child to sleep better in 3 simple steps. So it's very direct and to the point. It's the benefit driven. So get your child to sleep better and then in 3 simple steps. Now down here in the description, it goes just below your headline. And I like to just put a call to action in here. So click to learn how to improve your child's sleep. Now it doesn't show up in the preview here because this is a mobile preview. Okay, so now we can simply scroll down, make sure our website is here. We can choose our call to action. So you can see the button here says learn more. We can change that to things like sign up or anything else. I find that for these kind of offers, learn more tends to work best, or no button at all. So for this one, I am actually going to go learn more and leave it at that. And that's what I recommend you do if you're not sure. Now down here, it's got tracking and it's got website events. It says all domains need to be associated with a pixel event, a parent ad. Your pixel event was not associated with any domains. Now this is part of the iOS 14 changes. So before we can publish our ad or run our ad, there is one important step that we do need to take. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on the menu back here for business tools, and I'm going to back to my events manager. And we're going to set up something called aggregated event measurement. Again, this is part of the iOS 14 privacy changes. And what we need to do is tell Facebook which events are our high priority ones and which are low priority ones. If you want to learn more about this, I've got a video. I'll pop a link now and a link in the description on setting up aggregated event measurement. But I'm going to show you how to do it here really quickly as well. So once we're back here in the event manager, you need to go down here and click aggregated event measurement. So click on that and click configure web events. Okay, so now we're going to choose our domain, And you can see when I click on it, it's got highest priority and lowest priority, and it's got a list of events. Yours won't have that. So you just need to click Manage Events and click Edit. So mine's already set up, but yours won't be. Now what we need to do here is prioritize our events from highest to lowest. And I like to just do it from the bottom of the funnel up, meaning purchase being the final thing that people are going to complete and the most important thing that I want to see inside of Facebook Ad Manager, down to the least important or the first things they do. So purchase at the top. So I choose my pixel from here, choose my event name, and then I go down and I do the next one. So to add a new event, you click the green button, add event, and then you would choose your pixel, and then you would add the event. So I've chosen purchase, and then I've chosen initiate checkout because that's what they do just before purchasing. Before that, they become a lead, and then before that, view content. So do it like that. If you can, turn value optimization on as well. And once you've done that, you simply click submit to submit the changes. Now, once you've done that, and you can go back to the ad manager and we can continue to set up our ad. Okay, so now if you go back to your ad, I'm just showing you here, you can choose website events and make sure you select the domain that you verified earlier and where your conversion events are going to occur. So this is really important. You can see here it says, is this the domain where you intend to measure conversions? And so it has to be the domain where your lead event is going to be occurring, because otherwise, as I said, it's going to break things when the iOS 14 changes roll out. They might probably, when you're watching this video, they're probably already rolled out, so it's going to be essential. Okay, so once you've done all of that, you've got your first ad set up. What I recommend is you go through and you have 2 or 3 different ads in each ad set, because you really want to test different things with your ads and see which ones work best. So we've got our campaign, we've got our ad set, and then inside that ad set, we've got one ad. Now, if I click on that ad and I click this little X to close that, I can actually select that ad here in the list, click duplicate, and duplicate that ad. And I recommend you do this and you test something different in terms of the type of creative. So with this one, I would test a video, okay? So video 1, text 1, and I would change this out. So I would go single image or video, delete that one, remove all, click add media, add a video, and then add a video ad. Now, one of my favorite ways to create video ads is to use something like animoto.com. I'll put a link in the description to that as well. It's a free online tool that you can use, and I think there's a free and a paid version, but you can create really quick, easy video ads like slideshows and animated video things with that tool and then use them in your ads. So I recommend, at least, even if you're trying to rush this and get an ad set up quickly, test 2 or 3 different images at bare minimum so you've got some tests running, because if you're relying on one image, one piece of copy, meaning just one ad, if that doesn't work, then you're probably going to give up and say, well, Facebook ads don't work, when really that ad just might not have resonated with the audience. It's really important to test multiple things. Okay, so once you've got all of that done, the final step is to click review and publish. But before you do, what I recommend is go and read the Facebook ad policies and make sure you are compliant. It's really easy to get tripped up and caught by Facebook's ad policies, and if you don't adhere to them, especially as a new advertiser, you'll find yourself getting banned and your ad account getting shut down without you even understanding why. It's not a great way that they deal with things, but it's the way Facebook works. So go and read those policies. I'll put a link up here now, and I'll put a link to their policies in the descriptions as well. But you can also watch my video on how to prevent your ad account getting shut down. So again, link should pop up above me now or in the description. So make sure you check that out as well before you hit publish. But now what you want to do is hit publish. Your ads are going to go into review. So the delivery setup here will change to review. Ignore my setup error. It's because I'm using this new ad account. It'll go into review, and then once it's live, it will change to approved and your ads will be live. Okay, once you do that, you're going to start seeing results popping up and coming in, and I'm going to show you how to sort of use this screen to assess those results. So let's go back to the campaign level. We can do that by clicking on campaigns, and then we see our campaign here. You can see it's got some metrics here like reach, impressions, cost per result. That's going to be really important. But if you want to see any other metrics here, you can click on this drop down. You can go customize columns. And you can choose what else you want to see. Now I like to go down to conversions and click on that and add the different conversion events. So I would choose leads and show the total number of leads, show the lead cost. I would also show my purchases and the cost per purchase and also the value. So I could see I've had 3 purchases and that generated $1,000 in revenue or whatever that might be. You can add return on ad spend. So click here. So that's going to show you, whether you had a 2 times return on ad spend, meaning you spent $100 and you got $200 back. So it shows you what you're getting back from your Facebook ads. Once you choose what you want to see here, then you simply click apply and it's going to add those columns in for you. So you can start to look and assess that. Now, once you start getting results, you're probably going to start to wonder, well, how do I know if they're good, bad? What do I do next? And I've got a video on that as well. Link above, link in the description, so you can see how to analyze your data and how to make decisions based on the information coming back, okay? But everything you've done up until now has got you set up with your Facebook ad campaign and you're good to go. Congratulations, you're up and running. Good for you for sticking through to the end of this video. It's been a really, really long one, but hopefully it's been everything you've needed to get up and running with Facebook ads and get your first campaign running. All I ask, as I said, is if you've enjoyed it, please hit that like button. It does help me a ton. And drop a comment below and tell me what your business does. What are you running ads to? Tell me a little bit about it. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And same if you've got questions, let me know. And don't forget, if you want to hear more from me, if you want to just get a little notification from YouTube whenever I release a new video, make sure you hit subscribe and hit that little bell. That will tell you whenever a new video of mine comes out on Facebook advertising, digital marketing, or growing an online business. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your time and I hope this video has helped you with your Facebook ads. I'll see you soon. Bye.